kind of went on and read a little bit more into what she was supposed to, but that's okay. We're going to go back over chapter 15, because that's where my lesson was. That's where I picked out to do a lesson with y'all. Is that okay? Is that good? Yeah? Okay, so since she's already read it, y'all kind of already know what happened in this chapter. Well, there's a certain point in this chapter that I really want to focus on, and that's what we're going to do a little mini lesson over afterwards, after I get done reading, okay? Okay. So, can y'all give me an idea of what y'all think a selfless act is? Go ahead.
Where you don't think about the other people, like in the chapter that they just sailed, they were thinking about sailing away, not caring about the commoners, just leaving them with no food.
Now, was that a selfless act or a selfish act? Selfish. So if that was a selfish act, what do you think a selfless act is?
Thinking about others and not yourself.
Thinking about others and not yourself. Does anybody else have another idea of what that might mean? No? What did you say? Yeah? Okay. So that's what we're kind of going to go over today whenever I come to a certain point in the chapter that I want to go over. So keep in mind what y'all think a selfless act is, and we'll go over it later, okay? Okay. So it says, now in Jamestown they were all in combustion, the strongest preparing once more to run away with the pennants for England. So do y'all know who that they're talking about in that part right there? Are they talking about King James?
The gentleman.
The gentleman. Because what are the gentlemen trying to do? What were they doing in the last chapter?
Trying to sail away.
Go ahead, Karen. They're about to sail away. Okay, so let's read on to figure out what else happened. The Discovery bobs in the river as the gentlemen on board unfurl her sails. There is no wind yet, but their intent is clear. They have loaded up all our food, and as soon as the breeze lifts, they will set sail for England. There are 10 or 12 gentlemen on board, and they are leaving the 25 of us commoners behind to starve. So what do you think, selfless or selfish?
Selfish.
Selfish. In twos and threes, they come out from the fort to stare at the Discovery. I'll shoot them all, one of the soldiers declares. He prepares to load his musket. Don't be stupid, Henry says. We'll shoot you before you can fire a second shot, and they'll hit some of us, or some of the rest of us as well. They've already killed us, says John Layden. You think we'll make it through the winter? The river will freeze over our fish nets. The birds are already gone, and there's nothing more to harvest. We might as well be shot. At least it'll be a quick death. My stomach grumbles for its breakfast. I wonder how long it takes to die of hunger. I wonder if it hurts. The men continue to argue. Some think we will be able to trade with the Indians, and others insist that the Indians will not trade now in midwinter, when they are probably going half hungry themselves. Many want to kill the gentleman, or die trying. Reverend Hunt is standing near me. He is staring out at the ship, his face set in grim lines. It is all lost, Reverend. Is it all lost, Reverend? I asked him. Are we doomed? He puts his hand on my shoulder. Do you see any wind? He asked. I take a good look at the surface of the river. There is hardly a ripple. I shake my head. Why do you think he was asking if there was any wind? Go ahead.
Because they don't have any engines, so the boat can't move without the wind.
Do you think the Discovery and the gentlemen are going to go anywhere if there's no wind? No. Then the Discovery is not going anywhere yet. There is still time for me to pray for a miracle. He walks off in the direction of the fort to the chapel. I listen to the men argue about how to shoot to kill most of the gentlemen at once. Richard touches my arm. His eyes are bright. He whispered, pointing back behind us. At first, I think I am seeing a vision, that my imagination is playing tricks. I see a dozen native men emerging from the forest near the fort. Some are bare-chested, despite the cold, and some have deerskin mantles thrown over one shoulder. They are walking quite quickly. There is one man among them who is not quite a native, though not quite a white man either. His hair is reddish-brown, but long and shaggy. He is wearing a deerskin mantle and also flotsam shoes. Suddenly, it is as if my eyes clear, and I know who I'm seeing. Who do you think he's looking at? Go ahead, Pablo. Stop. Captain Smith. Captain Smith, I cry, and run full speed to greet him. Everyone starts clamoring at once. They're leaving us. They've stolen our food. We have no stores left. Those no good lazy gentlemen. We'll starve. Where have you been? Captain Smith holds up his hands to silence us. Help me with the cannons, he orders. We follow him to the fort, and our soldiers work to load the cannons and aim them squarely at the Discovery. What do you think he wants to aim the cannons at the Discovery? Go ahead, Adam.
Maybe get them to get off the boat and shoot you to get off the boat.
Yeah, so do you think it's going to be an intimidating factor? The cannons are intimidating the gentlemen? Go ahead.
I was going to say maybe he would threaten them with
Yeah, that's a good. Go ahead. Do you think he's bluffing? Yeah, that could be too. Then Captain Smith marches down to the water's edge. Halt or be sunk, he shouts. Disembark at once or die. We watch as the gentlemen on board the ship huddle and talk. After a few minutes of conferring with one another, Master Archer shouts out, "Where are Jehu Robinson and Thomas Emery?" What do you think that they're asking about these two men? Go ahead. Okay.
probably put them with him to
What do you think? Why do you think that they are concerned about these two men? Are they really concerned about the two men, or are they concerned about why John Smith was doing what he did?
these two men were probably gentlemen, so I wondering where they were.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe since they didn't come back, since the two gentlemen didn't come back and were killed, maybe they could blame it on him.
Very good. That's what I was thinking too. Captain Smith shakes his head, says, he answered, killed by the savages. The gentleman confers some more, and then begins to load the long boat with provisions to bring back to shore. A cheer goes up among the commoners. Our food is being returned to us, but I have an uneasy feeling. Why did the gentlemen change their minds as soon as Captain Smith told them about those two men are dead? I watch them paddle the long boat toward the shore and think it almost feels too easy. This change in their plans. We turn our attention to Captain Smith with 100 questions. Where did you go? Why did you stay away so long? Did you bring corn? Did the Indians try to kill you? Later, he says. I will tell you about it all later. The group of native men who have come with Captain Smith stand quietly watching as the gentlemen roll barrels of provisions up the river bank. Once the Discovery has been unmanned, Captain Smith turns back to the fort. Oh, there's an Indian word. Heyakuwai, he says to the native men. That means to go with him, I say to Richard. Richard and I follow too. Captain Smith brings the men to the fort, where two of our cannons sit perched on an artillery platform. He speaks to them in Alaskaland as best he can. Here, guns, I have promised the great Powhatan. You take to him. Do you really think that these Indians are going to be able to lift the cannons? No, not at all. My jaw dropped. Why do you think he did that? Why do you think he asked, or why do you think he was telling the Indians to take the cannons? Go ahead.
Probably because he wants them to get the cans and he knows he can't pick them up, so maybe he convinced them to get them.
Very good. What about you, Chris? Do you have a different idea? You were going to say the same thing? Okay. We are forbidden to give the Indians muskets or swords, but Captain Smith is giving them cannons. The Indian men gather around one of the cannons to lift it. They strain, switch positions, team up, push, and pull with all their might. Their faces turn red, veins on their necks stand out, and they sweat despite the icicles hanging from the trees. I glance over at Captain Smith and see that he is stifling a smile. I give something easy for carry, he offers. The would-be cannon carriers look relieved. They finally leave with handfuls of intricately colored glass beads, small bells, small mirrors, and a large copper pot. I wonder if the great Powhatan will be satisfied with this wish. Now will you tell us where you've been? John Layden asked. Did you really get to meet the great Powhatan? I asked. Can a man get breakfast before he has